Hello guys, welcome back in the new video of Python module, and in this video we are going to see how can we short our URL using Python. Means we are going to short a long URL into a shorted compact URL. Okay, the both URL will work same, but the shorted URL will short. Okay, now for that Python provides us a module, or we can say a package, because it contain different p.py files. Okay, so the name of that package is pyshortener. So first of all we have to install that pyshortener using our terminal. Okay, so let me open my terminal. Okay, so now we have to write, it's not okay, now we have to write pip install pyshorteners. Okay, pyshorteners, and just enter. Now I have already installed this package, so it will say requirement already satisfied, but in your case it can be installed if you have not installed this yet. So it's taking some time. The module name is right, pyshorteners. Okay, the package name is right. Okay, so in my case it taking some time, so I am going to close this because I have already installed this package. So let's see our, okay, now we are in our now we are going to write our program. For that, like I have already written here, like pyshorteners. Okay, so first of all we have to import this package. So for that we have to write import this. I am going to copy it from here and just import and as ps. Okay, so guys, here I am importing this pyshortener as ps. Okay, means I just give a nickname to this pyshortener because it's too long. It's too long to write in our program, so I'm just giving this a nickname ps. So in our program, if I want to use this pyshortener, I will use this ps instead of this pyshortener. Okay, name, you can say name. So it is the nickname of this pyshortener. Okay, now we need an URL. Okay, now we need an URL which is going to be shorted. Okay, for that I'm going to use my own website. Okay, so as you guys know that this is my website, textarea.pythonanywhere.com. I hosted this website on pythonanywhere.com freely. That's why it's giving the Python Anywhere name here. Okay, just ignore it. And now we are going to take the URL from here. Okay, so just Python practice set, we are going to Python practice, and now you can see that the URL is too long. Okay, now if I want to give someone this URL, you can say the path of this page, you can say the path, the URL of this page, and you can, and now I have to give this thing, okay, this long URL. So why not I use the shortener to short this URL and then give. Okay, so it will be better for both. Okay, so just copy this URL from here. Okay, and paste it here with an storing in a variable. Just okay, now you can see that the URL is too long, and we are going to short this URL, and the shorted URL will work same. Okay, so for that we are going to create a variable like u, okay, which will contain the shorted URL. Okay, for that we have to write shortener. Okay, for that we have to write shortener dot tiny url dot short. I have I wrote wrong. Okay, so the short is a method. Okay, so we have to pass our url inside this method. Okay, so we are going to write simply url. Okay, the url is this url. Okay, this url is going in this short method. Okay, now this method will return a shorted url which is going to store in this url variable. Okay, and now we have to print this url, so we will get our url in our console. Okay, so I'm now going to run this program. Okay, so it's giving me shortener is not defined. Okay, so I have make a simple mistake. I think I have made a simple mistake. Okay, so guys, see, I use this class, but this class is inside what, in this package. Okay, so for that we have to write ps dot shortener dot tinyurl dot short. Okay, so the inside this package you can say that this class is present. In that class these methods are present. Okay, so you can go to this package and see what's are in this package, like there are exception.py, init.py, and some different files. Okay, so now if I run this program, you can see our url will be shorted. Okay, so now you can see our url is shorted. Now look at the our original url, which is https and text area python anywhere.com course data course for python and the other text. Okay, so now this our original url is shorted into this compact url. You can say that this is a compact, we have compact that url. Now you have to copy this url, the shorted url, and paste it in your browser. Okay, and just hit this, and it will redirect you to your page. Okay, it's taking some time, maybe my internet is not working or my pc is hanged. Oh, okay, now it's working. Now you can see that. Okay, both the pages are same, but I have used this url, I use this shorted url, but when I hit on this url, it redirects me to our original page, which placed on this particular long url. Okay, so basically this url, when you hit this url on your browser, it will redirect you to your original url from which it is created. Okay, now so guys, this is the simplest way to short your long url into a shorted url. Okay, so this package also have some different functionalities. You can explore this package after installing. So I am going to see tell you where is this package is installed, basically placed. Okay, so simply go to your this pc or my computer. Okay, after that you will find your local disk. Okay, inside that you will find users and you will find your name, like you have, maybe you log in your computer with a different name. In my case the name is abhi. Don't go to public, go to abhi, your name. Okay, and inside that you will find okay, inside that you have to write here. Okay, like this, I am going to, in this search bar, I am going to write app data, because app data is hidden. For that you have to access this app data by this method. You can say by writing the app data after your name in the search bar. Okay, in the location bar you can say. Okay, so in app data, when you write app data and hit, you will redirect to this page in your pc. Okay, and you have to go to your local. After going to local, you will find scroll down and you will find this programs named folder. Okay, so go inside this, and inside this you will find your Python. Okay, inside this Python you will find your Python version. Maybe you have installed different versions of Python, so it's upon you that in which folder you installed your that package, like pip3 if you use pip3, or maybe simply search in every Python version, you will find that. Okay, now inside that we will find a lib that look, it is L is capital, then I, and then B. Okay, this is libs. Below it you will find a libs, but don't go in libs, just go in lib, like L capital is capital, and then I is smaller, then B is smaller. Okay, then go inside it, and you will find a site package. Okay, site packages. Okay, all the modules packages that you install from your terminal are placed in the site packages. Okay, so in the site packages you will find a pyshortener. Okay, just scroll down, then you can see that here. Okay, pyshortener, don't go in this 1.0.1, or maybe it can be differ in your case. It will contain only .txt files. Okay, the main content is in this pyshorteners package. Inside that you will find this type of directory. Okay, like exceptions, base, then init. As I said, you will find exception, init, and other files as well. You have to go this shorteners, and inside shorteners you will find many of py files. Okay, so the file we have used today is the tiny URL, the last one. Okay, you can see that tiny URL. I am going to open this file and let it open. It's taking some time. Okay, so now it's opened. Okay, so now you can see that the shortener class, okay, that we have used is this shortener class. In this shortener class we will find a short method. In this method we have passed our URL. You can see that it's taking a parameter name URL. And the URL, it's not mandatory that you name your URL as a URL, that, like I'm saying, it's not mandatory that you have to write this URL as same in your program. You can say anything, like I am going to give it my name Abhi. Okay, so you have to pass the Abhi here. Okay, so it will also work. Okay, so if all the things gone right, so we will get our shorted URL in the return. Okay, now you can see that here if our response.ok is true, then it will give our shorted URL. If any exception occurs, it will raise an exceptions. Okay, it will raise an exception, which is a shortening error. Exception means the program is unable to short your URL, something like that. Okay, so guys, it's all. Now you can use this package, and you can short long URLs into a shorted URL. So guys, that's all, and see you in next video. Till then, bye.